Okay, so I know I haven't really made a video in a while. It's been probably a couple months since I made my last video, but I figured that um, tonight was a good night to make one because a lot of things have been happening lately that have been a big, huge part of what's been going on. So I figured I'd tell you guys. Um, when August 10th, I started dating a girl named Billy, and we were together and everything, and it was perfect. Everything was perfect. And then, for those of you who really know me personally know that I have really, really severe anxiety, and that, little things really do get to me sometimes. So, like, I tend to worry a lot about, like, things that I probably shouldn't because they don't matter. But, like, I start to, like, really worry about things because, like, I'm in Maryland and she's in New York. So, it's about a 3.5 hour drive between us. And of course, number one thing that really bothered me was that she wasn't out to her mom yet. Like, she didn't know that her mom didn't know she was gay, even though it was really ironic because her mom is gay. So, but anyway, besides that, and the fact that, like, because of that, we hadn't set an official date on when we would actually, like, see each other. So, I something happened the night before last night, and I started to get really scared and try to pull away from her because I was scared because, like, I didn't know when I was gonna officially see her, and the fact that I was falling for her so hard, like, it made me think, like, what if this is like another one of those dead end relationships where you're not gonna be able to see the person that you love, and, like, I know a lot of you can, like, kind of understand that because it's scary, but so what I did the night before last, which was Monday night, I ended up writing a letter to her telling her that with all the pain that I've been going through lately, that I think it's best that she should let me go. And, I knew that in some way she would understand, but at the same time, I thought that it was the best move for me. Because at the time, I didn't know how much I was falling for her, and I didn't know how much I loved her. So, I wrote her the letter, and then the next day I called her and I read it to her, and that was basically it. Like, she told me that, she wasn't mad, but the fact that, like, she knew that I had done it for me, and that, I needed to move on because I did something for myself, and I took the time to do something for me finally. And I normally don't do that. I normally just put my pain aside for other people, and then, take care of them first, So, now, I knew as soon as I had done that it was the biggest mistake that I've ever made. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just let go from this perfect thing in my life. Like, she's absolutely amazing. Like, ever since we had met, like, she she knew everything. Like, she knew how to handle me, and I let that go. So, being the person that I am, I called her up last night. I guess it was around like 1 or 2 in the morning because I was laying in bed watching TV, and, like, I couldn't stop thinking about her, and it was killing me not to talk to her. So I was just sitting there watching TV, and the next thing I know, my phone's in my hand and there's her name on there, and I'm getting ready to call her, and so I did. And of course, I'm sitting there on the phone, and, like, she answered, even though she had deleted my number, but apparently she still remembered it because she knew it was me. But I called her and I was like, I can't sleep, and, like, she was like, why? And I was like, because I'm thinking about you. And of course, I completely broke down on the phone with her. Like, I started sobbing and crying, and I was a mess. And I was telling her that, I made a mistake. Me doing that wasn't the right thing. Because I knew as soon as I had done it, it was like someone had like snapped their fingers, and I knew it's not the right thing. I shouldn't have done that. So I told her that like that she wasn't going to be the one that I would let go of like that. I couldn't do it. So I talked to her last night, and we talked about getting back together soon, as far as like, because we both have a lot of things going on. Like, I have work, and I have to work on like getting more hours. Like, I have my GED test coming up soon, and I need to study for it, which I have a huge ass book like sitting right next to me that I have been studying all day, and stuff like that. And I think stressing about that, and then constantly worrying about her, constantly, missing her and wanting her here, I guess sort of piled up, and that's what caused me to like want to think that breaking up with her was like the best thing to do. And it wasn't. It was just like, it's hard for me to say it's because I never talk about it, especially not to people that, YouTube is such a huge community that hundreds of people see videos every single day. And so, but anyway, before I had met Billy, I was almost 3 months clean of self-harm. Like, I didn't cut myself anymore. But then when it came down to starting to worry about her, worrying about why her ex was still talking to her, worrying about her self-harming herself, not self-harming herself, but that's kind of stupid to say that, but anyway, and just worrying and like missing her so much and worrying about her, I guess it just sort of piled up, and like, of course, I relapsed and I started again, and that's why I was under so much stress. So what I had thought of was that maybe if I let her go, like, all that pain will go away and I won't do it anymore. And I felt 10 times more worse breaking up with her than I ever was being with her. So I knew as soon as I told her I didn't want to be with her anymore, it was the worst decision I'd ever made. So last night when I was talking to her, I was telling her that, I would do absolutely anything to get back together with her. Like, I would stop cutting myself. Like, I wouldn't do it anymore. So I took a huge step, and I threw all my razors away. They're all gone. They're in the trash can. They're there. They're in a bottle filled with like a Powerade that I almost drank. I don't know. And like I told her, I was like, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. Because if it means that I can have you back, then I won't have a reason to. So knowing that I made that huge step and everything, and telling her that, we had talked about like getting back together after like all this stress and everything had blown over, and we both had our lives together. So I had started talking to her again today, because like I was actually sitting out on my porch doing some schoolwork, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, today doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel right today. Like, something is definitely missing. And as soon as I thought of that, it's her. She's missing from my day. And I couldn't help but like think about her. So I texted her, and of course we talked about the same thing. And like, she was like, you don't need me. Like, you did this for yourself, and that I'm so proud of you for that and everything, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, she's the one that I need. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm completely head over heels in love with her. I can't explain it, I'm in love with her, and I'm not afraid to admit it anymore. So, we were talking today, and of course, like, I started thinking about her again, and I started crying again, because I was like, what if I can't get her back? And I don't know how she does it, but she's the only person that I know that actually can handle me when I'm like that. Don't ask me how. I don't know how she does it. No one's been able to do it before. I've been an emotional wreck, and no one's been able to help me but her. So she talked me through everything, and we started talking about, like, again, getting back together. And that just, it took everything away from me. Like, I stopped crying, I stopped, being so upset, I stopped, like, stressing and everything. Just, like, talking to her, like, makes me feel so much better. And that's how I knew that letting go of her wasn't the right thing to do. So, through all of this, like, I realized that letting go and, like, breaking up with her is not the right thing to do. I have never myself actually, like, told a girl that I didn't want to be with her anymore. They've always been the one to break up with me. So this was a different situation for me. And I knew as soon as I did it that it was the wrong thing. So I talked to her tonight on the phone. I actually just got off the phone with her maybe like 10-15 minutes ago. And again, I started crying. God, I've been a wreck for the past couple of days. Started crying again because, like, I love her so much. And she actually wants to be with me. Like, she's been telling me for the past day that she still wants to be together with me. So, we've been talking about it and everything, and, like, we do plan to get back together. That it's, like, we're in love with each other, like, it's gonna happen. Like, and I'm happy, because, like, even though, like, technically we aren't together now, like, it doesn't feel like things have changed, but they have. Like, knowing that, like, I can't call her mine, but at the same time, like, I was talking to her tonight, because it was really, like, on my mind about, like, things. But, like, even though we're not together, like, I'm so afraid that, like, someone is gonna, like, come around and be better than me, and of course that they're probably gonna live closer than me than her, and she's gonna forget about me. And she straight up told me, she was like, look, I am absolutely in love with you, and I'm not gonna let that happen. She's like, I don't care about anyone else. And that's what made me feel better, is that, she's the one for me, and I'm not gonna let go of her. I can't explain it. Like, any of my exes, I've never actually physically wanted them back so much. And it's amazing. Like, I know once we get back together, I'll be with her for God knows how long. Like, we talked about, like, even having a future together. And that's all I see with her is a future and a life. And it's amazing that she still thinks I'm an amazing person through all this. She still believes that I'm perfect, even though I'm not. Because I'm not perfect. But anyway, I figured I'd tell you guys that because, I'm happy again. And, I know I haven't, like, really updated in a while, so I think I'll end up starting to do videos soon. Oh, and yeah, the one other thing I forgot to mention was that she will be coming here hopefully in November when she's off for her Thanksgiving break. So she'll be coming here to see me for the very first time, and I can't help but be excited. Is because she told her mom about me, and her mom knows that she's gay and everything, and, like, her mom's cool with it, obviously, because her mom's gay. So, but yeah, she's coming here in November, and I'm so excited. But I guess that's it. Like, I don't really have anything else that really has happened lately that's, like, kind of major. So, but like I said before, like, I'm gonna start making videos again. Like, it's something that I used to love doing. Just I kind of got out of the habit of doing it. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated on things that happen and everything. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.